1908 hours, August the 10th of 2024. I want to go ahead and answer a question that April asked Bashar before I hear Bashar's answer. Um, and the question is service something that we need or should surrender and give ourselves away to and do for free? Or is it alright to be paid and supported for our services? I want to address the first part before I go ahead and address the second part, because given my own beliefs, there are variations on this question with different intents and meaning and thoughts behind them, and I want to go ahead and address those on top of April's thoughts. So the one that I want to go ahead and address is the idea, should we give ourselves away, to, like, is service something that we need or should surrender and give ourselves away to and do for free, or is it alright to be paid and supported for our services? One thing that comes to me immediately is the thought that payment or service for the self might not come in a way that is conventionally perceived as such by people. In my journey, as I work and do so much for free for people, what do I get out of it? What I get out of it is my own growth, my own self-exploration, my own reflection, my own opportunity to learn a lot of new parts of myself that I haven't worked with, or to do new things with my consciousness that I've never done before, or to see new facets of myself that I didn't know were there. There are so many different elements that I get out of that, and it all helps me along in my own journey in knowing myself and knowing my own consciousness in such a way that allows me to be able to create much more freely. In that way, my own abundance or domain of experiences that I'm able to have expands by my own knowing of the self and greater and improved ability to move with my consciousness and do things with my consciousness that I've not done before. And in that way be able to live experiences that I previously had cut myself off from. That's what I get in return for creating with other people. I get to go ahead and work with my own consciousness and learn to be my own self to a greater extent, to learn to be more of myself, and to learn to be more in alignment with my own heart. So I wanted to go ahead and address that component before we go ahead and go into a slightly thematically different element to this. So let's read both sections of the question together now. Is service something that we need or should surrender and give ourselves away to and do for free? Or is it alright to be paid and supported for our services? What's the role or distinction between volunteering versus the forms of service where we are working and getting paid? From my own perspective, yes, it's all okay and fine, all well and fine to go ahead and get paid for doing something. If that's the way you wish to create, you can. And often that's actually how many people create. Quite often, I can go out and try to do something for free, and the individual that I'm working for is absolutely adamant on paying me. A lot of people, that's their rhythm. And it's more than just the rhythm. If that's the flavor of life that you want for yourself, you absolutely can create that way. That's almost like asking about different animals and different species of, looking at them, looking at how they behave, looking at how they do things. Different species do different things in different ways and stick to different trends and patterns of being and behavior. So if yours involves money and that's the way you wish to live and express your consciousness, you're certainly able to do that. And there are many ways of doing that are fully and completely loving and in alignment with the heart and harmonizing with the whole of the body of consciousness. There are even type 1 versions of Earth that do actually work with money. And that's the way they all create. And so Money is absolutely a way that can work. It's not a way that you have to use, nor is it a way that you have to not use. It's simply a way. It's an available way. So in that aspect, it's not only fine, it's welcome by creation. So, what's the role or distinction between volunteering versus the forms of service where we are working and getting paid? That's a little bit more of a societal thing. I don't really work as much with that kind of consciousness, but if you wish to go ahead and volunteer your services for someone, are you sacrificing or losing something important? If you are, your heart will highlight this, and it won't feel right to proceed with that. If it is not, and it is truly in your highest excitement and harmonizing with your whole body of consciousness, it will feel right, and your reality will support you quite a bit more. It will be poised to support you quite a bit more. Your own heart is aware of the scope and setup of your consciousness given all of its components and all of the choices that you're making. In that way, if you carry beliefs that preclude the idea of creating a version of reality in which you have the situation at hand and volunteering there would serve you in some way, then your heart will let you know that going over there will pull you away from what you're wanting to work on, if that's indeed what it's going to do. So if it's going to pull you away given your setup, your heart will let you know. And if you still wish to proceed, you can, but you might want to make some tweaks to your consciousness if you want to go ahead and still have everything you need when you need it. Because when your heart gives you a flag like that, that means given your energy as it is, it's going to pull you away from something. And you'd have to change the way that you create to change that fact in the moment to where you're no longer being pulled away by making the move that you're choosing to make. Otherwise, if it's truly your highest excitement in the moment to do that, then the payment is in another form. The way you're going to be served by it might not be in the monetary sense, at least not in the form of being paid with a paycheck. And so, if you're going to be served by it, it's going to be in some other way. Remember to look at life beyond just physical life. Look at life as consciousness. Look at the joy in experience itself and how experience can be service to you without giving you anything material in nature, but rather giving you an experience that you resonate with and love very much. There are so many ways in which life can serve and support you. And the more open you are to all of the different ways in which life can serve and support you, the more you'll be able to experience the state of being served and supported in a multitude of different ways. Both in the aspect of appreciating the way consciousness moves for you, and also opening the scope within which consciousness moves for you. So those are the ways that we can see coming out of this, and there are many forms for this. And so where you decide to go ahead and do something where there's an official agreement for getting paid and something like that, it's a different energy. In one case, you're walking out open. In another case, you're making a specific agreement with your own reality of, I'm going to do this, this is the way I wish to go ahead and experience being served by it. And sometimes this is even done with variations on volunteerism and the idea of being served in different ways. So it all depends on the way you wish to create with yourself in that way. That's the end of this one.